everybody. Hope everybody's doing really well today. So today I'll be coloring in my Gordon Ramsay coloring book, and the picture is hilarious. It says, "This fish is so raw, it's still finding Nemo." I love these man's quotes. And I chose a nice like blue teal color palette, just, to be similar to ocean, and I like how the background on this is kind of wavy, so I think it goes well with the theme. But today's video is actually something that I'm super duper excited about. I have decided to start a tag. And I'll be honest, it's not 100% an original idea. It is based on a tag I've been seeing going around YouTube that's called reading, my reading habits. And it's been popular on BookTube. But the tag that I wanted to do is called my coloring habits tag, or just coloring habits tag. And I think it's so fun to share about, your coloring ideas or techniques or just preferences. And frankly, I'm just nosy. I like to know what other people are doing. It's just fun. And before I get started, I do want to tag some people, and obviously, if I don't mention you, but this sounds interesting, please go ahead. Technically I'm tagging everybody. Just let me know, or obviously just put the name in the title, and I'll be so happy to see other people's videos because, again, I be nosy. But the people that I'm tagging are Thunder Junkie, Jamie's Coloring Love, Danny from Danny Buttons, Shelly from The Stitch and Colorist, and Ellie from Poony Poony Stuff. Ladies, if you're watching it, I would love to see your rendition of this tag. And without further ado, let's dive in. I will leave all the questions in the description below, as well as a link to the book that I'm using and the markers. But yeah, so first question of the tag is, do you have a certain place for coloring? And to be honest, I color a lot on my floor, which sounds odd, but I have like a rug in my apartment, like a big rug, not like a bathroom rug. And a lot of the time I will just kind of lay my markers out there and just lay on my stomach and, get my coloring done. I like it. I don't enjoy sitting for long periods of time. Unfortunately, it makes my back hurt. So being able to just lay down, be comfy, it's fabulous. I do color a lot in bed as well, again, laying on my stomach in bed. However, if I have like a cup of coffee or something, it's much more convenient for me to lay on the floor than in bed, because with my luck, I would spill the coffee absolutely everywhere. And I've done that, and it's not pretty. Question 2. What time of the day do you feel most inspired? And for me, it's evenings, like after I finish with work, so like maybe 6 p.m. I'm not a morning person. I'm actually an absolutely horrible human being in the morning. I'm snappy. I can't focus. It's just a mess. So all those things combined are not very inspiring atmosphere. So I tend to do most of my coloring in the evening or maybe like around lunchtime. But yeah, definitely not mornings. I don't think I'll ever be a morning person. I've tried, but just doesn't happen, unfortunately. Alrighty, question 3. Can you stop mid-picture, or do you have to finish it? I'm kind of like a psychopath when it comes to that, because I can stop wherever. Like, I could be mid-coloring a small item, and then I realize I have to do something, and I'll put it down, and I'll just walk away. I'm the same way with books. Like, sometimes I'll be reading and I'll stop mid-sentence and it doesn't bother me. But I know for a lot of people, they need to, like, either, like for a book, be at the end of a paragraph or something, or for a picture, be like finish the item that they're working on. I am not like that at all. I could just drop whatever I'm doing and pick up something else. I don't know if that's weird, but it's more convenient that way, I guess, because I don't feel pressure to finish the thing that I'm working on before picking up something else. Or again, maybe I'm just cuckoo, but absolutely, I can absolutely stop mid-picture and move right out. And then I pick it up and it's not an issue. Yeah. Question 4. Do you eat or drink while coloring? And I pretty much always have a coffee near me, like in my hand. Um, so yeah, I'm always drinking coffee. Eating, I try not to eat and color at the same time just because I feel like that's really inconvenient. Like if I have a bowl in front of me with food, like am I like reaching over the bowl to color? Is the bowl to the side? I don't know. It just takes too much planning. And I feel like I would definitely get food over absolutely everything. Sometimes I will like snack, but for me to have a full on meal while coloring is like unheard of. Alrighty, question 5 is titled Multitasking. Do you listen to music or TV while coloring? And to be honest, sometimes I'll play some sort of like Amazon show while I'm coloring, but it has to be something I've either seen before or something that doesn't really require me to fully pay attention because obviously like my face is down looking at the coloring book. So a lot of the time I'll watch something like Big Bang Theory because I've seen it so many times before. I don't need to like fully watch it. Or recently I started watching what is it called? Criminal Minds. So like a show like that, I don't need to be fully focused on it. You know, it has its like dramatic periods and everything, and something like that is perfect. However, my favorite thing to do if I'm trying to multitask while coloring is to listen to an audiobook. So I've really gotten into audiobooks in the last couple of months, which is mind blowing to me because I've always been the kind of person who's like, oh, like I can't focus on audiobooks. And to be honest, it has to be the right type of book and I have to be in the right like mindset, but I have been greatly enjoying it. I listened to the second and third Hunger Games books like that. I had physically read the first one. Um, I'm currently listening to Beauty and the Beast retelling. That's pretty good. So it's wonderful. Sometimes I do have to like stop coloring and pay attention to the book if it's something like super dramatic. But besides those times, usually it's lovely, and I'm getting reading done that way, and I'm coloring. So win-win situation. Okay. Question 6. One picture at a time or multiple? To be honest, I usually have one picture going that's like super time consuming. So usually it's like has a lot of blending and color, pencils and all that jazz. And I will work on that throughout the month. And then I will do easier pictures as well. So something like color by number, you know, that I can kind of finish in one sitting or maybe two. So that way I'm switching it up because I feel like sometimes it's easy to get burnt out with a complex picture or something that's super time consuming. So in order for me not to lose interest in it or kind of get like flustered and be like, oh, like this thing, I will swap off to easier pictures. However, I tend to not have multiple like quote unquote difficult pictures going at the same time. Currently, I do. I currently have two, but that's because I'm making these videos, you know, and I don't want to be just coloring the same picture for 5 videos in a row. I feel like that would get super boring. But I will finish them. But yeah, I have two like quote unquote difficult pictures going at the moment, and then I'll sprinkle in a bit of color by number in there. Just love color by number. It's so relaxing. Question 7. Do you only color at home or do you take it with you on the go? So for the most part, I only color at home, and that's because we are in a lockdown and I can't really go anywhere. During the summer, I used to bring some coloring with me to the beach if I ever went to the lake with my friends. Um, you know, I like to have either a book with me or coloring, like something, because, you know, I'm the kind of person, if I'm spending time with my friends, you know, we don't need to be talking the entire time, you know? You can do your own thing, I'll do my own thing. I just enjoy the presence of other people. So I was bringing like a smaller coloring book with me to the beach this summer, and I have brought a color by number with me with my markers before to a friend's apartment. We had a movie night, and I forget what we watched. I think it was one of the Harry Potter movies, and I just colored, and it was super relaxing. It was a color by number, so again, I didn't really have to focus too hard on like blending and stuff. So it was lovely. I would like to take coloring with me places, once like things are open. I mean, right now, so again, I'm in Germany and we don't have anything open. The only thing that is currently open is the pharmacy and the grocery stores. So, restaurants, cafes, and such, they're not open. I mean, they are open, but for to go. So, literally going anywhere is not an option unless I go and like hang out in the produce aisle and color there. It's not going to happen. So once things settle out, which hopefully they will sometime in the near future, I would love to, maybe go to a nice cafe, get a latte, some sort of baked delicious goodie, and color there. I love that vibe. So we'll see. Hopefully that will change. But yeah, so far, mostly home, mostly on my floor. My neighbors probably think I'm crazy, like the people across the way, because I'm pretty sure they can see into my windows, and I'm pretty sure they watch me like sploot myself on the floor, just like laying down on the floor at all times, like coloring and holding a mug of coffee. But hey, nobody's called the authorities on me yet, so goodness gracious. Hopefully they can't see to my windows that well, I guess. Question 8. Do you try to convince people in your life to start coloring? Yes. I have officially convinced one friend to start coloring, but I mean, I don't get all the credit for that because she was artistic already. But she has purchased some coloring books now, which is super exciting. She has also done some coloring with me. I've actually featured one of her pictures before in one of my completed monthly wrap-ups. So I have convinced her, thank goodness. I have been trying to convince other people, but so far, nothing. I've also been trying to convince my mother, but it also doesn't help that she's in the States and I am in Germany. But, maybe once we're on the same continent, I could convince her to do some coloring with me. We'll see. She's a very artistic person, so I think she'd be wonderful at it. But we shall see. I just think it's such a wonderful hobby and I want more people to enjoy it. Plus, it's always nice to have coloring buddies, right? And then question 9. Do you go back and look at old pictures? I do. I absolutely do, especially the ones that I'm like proud of. I think all of us have that one, two, three, however many pictures that kind of like stick out in your mind of being like, oh wow, like I did a really nice job, or that was so time consuming, I'm really proud of it. So absolutely. I also have a lot of color by number that are Disney, like the Hatchet Heroes books, and I just think they're so fun. I love Disney, just looking at the pictures makes me happy. So yes, absolutely. I quite often flip through the pictures that I've done. And I do also have 2 books now that I've fully completed, and sometimes I'll flip through them. But to be honest, like if I were to move, I would toss out the ones that I've fully completed, which might seem like a disgrace to some people, but to me, like, I enjoyed those books as much as I possibly could. I completed them, and especially now that I'm making these videos, I have record of all those books that I've completed that I would toss them or obviously recycle them if I were to move. But as of right now, I'm staying in my apartment, so I'm going to hold on to them in the meantime. And then question 10, and this is the last question, is if you aren't coloring, what other hobbies do you participate in? Well, if we can define napping as a hobby or lifestyle, then napping. But if you are somebody who believes that napping is not a hobby, which is fine, I also do a lot of reading. Like I said, I've been dabbling in the audiobooks. I also got myself a Kindle recently, like around Christmas time, and I've been loving it. So I've been reading a bunch. I actually just started a book club at work. They've never had a book club, which is exciting. I was able to spearhead that, and I'm trying to think. I cook a lot. I love cooking. But yeah, just mostly reading, napping. Usually I would like to say that, I try to spend as much time with my family and friends as possible. However, pretty much my entire family is on a different continent, and then can't really see my friends because of the Rona. So, napping, reading, coffee sipping, and cooking, I guess. And of course, coloring. But I am going to proceed working on this picture. I will pop in at the end to show the completed project, and we'll wrap up the video then. And I wanted to show off the final product. I used the alcohol markers for everything and the lettering as well, and then I did a bunch of gel pens here on the fish itself. So the fish is so raw, it's still finding Nemo. Gordon being hilarious per usual. So thank you so much for watching, and if you decide to do this tag, which I think you should because I like it, obviously I'm a little partial, just let me know. I would love to watch it. Bye-bye.